The boathouse had been empty for years. Rotting wood, broken windows, the smell of salt, and decay, until the morning police pulled a body from the water beneath it. What they didn't know yet was that the killers weren't strangers hiding in the dark. They were friends who had just spent weeks pretending to grieve. This is the true story of Sarah Stern and the abandoned building that became the center of a betrayal so cold it stunned even seasoned investigators. Sarah Stern was 19 years old, creative, and deeply trusting. She lived in Neptune City, New Jersey, and had grown up with a tight-knit group of friends. People described her as kind, artistic, and loyal to a fault. She struggled at times, like many teenagers do, but she leaned heavily on her friends for support, believing they had her back no matter what. One of those friends was Liam McAtasney. Liam had known Sarah since childhood. They went to school together. Their families knew each other. To outsiders, he looked like part of her inner circle, someone safe. But behind that familiarity was something darker: obsession, entitlement, and resentment. On the night of December 2nd, 2016, Sarah was last seen alive. She had gone out with friends earlier, then returned home. Later that night, she left her house again. She never came back. The next morning, Sarah's car was found abandoned near the Route 35 bridge, close to the Shark River. The driver's door was open. Her phone and wallet were inside. There were no signs of a struggle. Police initially believed Sarah had jumped. Friends and family didn't want to accept that explanation, but the location made it seem plausible. Search teams combed the water for days. Vigils were held. Social media filled with photos of Sarah and messages begging her to come home. And during all of it, Liam McAtasney was right there, crying, comforting Sarah's friends, and inserting himself into the investigation. What no one realized was that Sarah wasn't in the river because she jumped. She was already dead. Investigators later learned that on the night Sarah disappeared, Liam convinced her to meet him at an abandoned boathouse near the Shark River. The structure was decaying, unused, and isolated. To Sarah, it probably felt familiar and harmless. To Liam, it was the perfect place. Inside that abandoned building, Liam strangled Sarah to death. There was no robbery, no random attack, just a calculated act of violence by someone she trusted. After killing her, Liam didn't act alone. He called another friend, Preston Taylor, and asked for help. Together, they wrapped Sarah's body and pushed it into the icy river beneath the boathouse, believing the water would erase what they'd done. Then they went home and started acting. For weeks, Liam played the role of devastated friend. He attended memorials. He spoke to the media. He hugged Sarah's mother. At one point, he even helped organize search efforts. Behind the scenes, though, he was unraveling. Liam began bragging. He told friends details no one should have known. He spoke about the murder in disturbing, casual ways, sometimes framing it like a dark joke. One person he confided in was Anthony Curry, a close friend who became increasingly alarmed by what he was hearing. Anthony did something critical. He went to the police. Investigators decided to take a risk. They wired Anthony with a recording device and sent him back to talk to Liam, letting him believe he was confessing to someone he trusted. What they captured would become the cornerstone of the case. On tape, Liam described killing Sarah in chilling detail. He talked about strangling her inside the abandoned boathouse. He mocked her. He laughed. He explained how he and Preston dumped her body into the river and staged the scene at the bridge to make it look like suicide. There was no remorse, only ego. On February 2017, police arrested Liam McAtasney and Preston Taylor. The case against them was overwhelming. In court, prosecutors laid out the full story: the manipulation, the murder, and the weeks of deception that followed. Jurors heard the recordings. They saw the texts. They listened as friends testified about the lies. In 2019, Liam McAtasney was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison, plus additional years for related charges. He will likely never be free. Preston Taylor pleaded guilty to aggravated manslaughter for his role in disposing of Sarah's body. He was sentenced to 18 years in prison. Sarah Stern's body was never recovered. The abandoned boathouse still stands, a weathered, forgotten structure near the river. To most people, it's just another decaying building. But for Sarah's family, it marks the place where trust was shattered and a life was stolen by someone who should have protected her. This case is a reminder that the most dangerous places aren't always dark alleys or abandoned buildings. Sometimes the real danger is the person standing next to you,